directly across the street from us, that white structure, the Park Hotel, as I said, believed to be one of the most haunted places on South Bass Island. That building began life in 1873 as a Hotel Deutsches built by a man named George Schmidt. Hotel Deutsches was just a two-story structure, and you can see remnants of it over there on the left-hand side. That's what the entire building looked like right across the front. Now, George Schmidt did so well that first year that he was able to buy better beds, better mattresses, better bedding. So he took himself a trip out to Toledo. While in Toledo buying said bedding, he came across the most incredible structure he had ever seen in his life. Still under construction, but nearing completion. He saw this thing, he fell in love with it immediately. He's like, I've got to have that thing. I've got to have it. He found the owner, he put in an offer, and the owner said, okay, fine, you can have it. Went out to the construction site and saw the guys finishing up the building of it and said, guys, you did a great job. Now you can tear it down, load it on a boat, and take it to Put-in Bay and build it over there. And so it opened in 1874, right next door as... No, not the Roundhouse. No, it opened as a Columbia restaurant. Yeah, that reaction you just gave me, that's the same reaction that everybody on the island had. Columbia Restaurant, come on, you gotta be kidding me. That's a really dull name. So people on the islands just simply started calling it by what it looked like. Hey guys, where do you want to go for dinner? I don't know, let's go to that new place. What new place? The Round Place. The Round Bar? Yeah, let's go to the Roundhouse. And from 1875 on, for the last 146 years, it has been the Roundhouse and nothing else. But that's not where the naming ended. Because poor George Schmidt was no longer called George Schmidt. He was now called on the island Roundhouse Smith. And that's the name that he carried the rest of his days, which sadly came to an end October 3rd, 1888. The year before, in 1887, he had built onto the hotel, adding that beautiful tower in the front, adding that third story. That's when they changed the name from the Hotel Deutsches to the Park Hotel. The name this place has carried ever since. But in 1888, he took ill, found himself bedridden by that fall, and on the morning of October 3rd, 1888, at about 6:30 in the morning, he got out of his bed, made his way over to his bureau, retrieved his revolver, went back to his bed, pulled the blanket over his head, and he checked out of the hotel. He's not the only person who had checked out in such a manner. There was another guy, a sailor on board a steamboat called the Arrow. Went up into the one room upstairs. We don't know quite which one. We have a few ideas. And he went in, and just like George Schmidt, old Roundhouse Smith, he also checked out of the hotel. Some believe that that's the man in the sailor's uniform that is seen sitting on the stairs over at the country house. There's also a woman who passed away here. She was making her way down the stairs and she was wearing a very long dress. And while walking down the stairs, she tripped over her dress and went head first. She was dead before she landed in the lobby. Broken neck. There's a fourth person who had died on site, and that was in the barn out back. Some people have said suicide. That's not true. There was a man who was working upstairs. He had a heart attack while working in the loft, and he fell. We don't know what killed him, the heart attack or the broken neck. One or the other got him. So here's the thing about the paranormal activity over here. The guy that manages the place. He had this beautiful basset hound named Lily. Lily would act very funny in the lobby. Sometimes like kids were petting her belly, she'd be rolling back and forth when there was nobody there, and sometimes she would stand on her hind haunches and howl at the corner. Well, that puppy Lily, she's no longer with us, so he's got a new basset hound over there now named Sanibel. Guess what she does? She howls at the corner, sits behind the counter, makes the weirdest noises, acts a little funny sometimes. Manager himself is walking from the quarters where he stays. That was the owner's quarters where George Schmidt checked out of the hotel room. And while walking into the lobby, he saw a chair sitting there that used to sit in that lobby, and it's a swivel chair. And he walked in and he saw the thing turning on its own. Now, there was nobody else in the building at the time, and we know that it was not a breeze. That chair is still around. It now sits inside the front entrance of the Red Moon Saloon. You're all welcome to go over and try and swivel that chair if you want. You're gonna see how stiff it is. By the way, it's a barber's chair, and it's the same one that Bill McCann passed away in 1965. A lot of people stay upstairs at the Park Hotel, and they report kids running back and forth outside the room playing, making a loud ruckus. And then they go down and they complain to the manager. And that's when they're told, you're the only one staying here. There's nobody else in the hotel room, or the hotel at all. And then they'll hear from a room next to them, banging noises, sounds of someone making a loud noise, a loud racket. And they go down finally and they complain. And that's when they're told that's not a room, that's a closet. One of the girls that was working at the front desk over here one time said a lady came in and said, hey, I just need to tell you, you've got someone is trapped in your stairwell. So the girl comes out from around the counter and looks up the stairs and says, what are you talking about? She says, no, not that stairwell, the other stairwell. So she tries to look up to the second and third floor. She says, no, the other stairwell. She's like, well, what you're talking about? She's like, okay, I'll explain. I'm a medium and I was walking by and I heard someone say, help me, I'm trapped in the stairwell. And at that point she's like, okay, look, you're going to have to leave, you're really freaking out our guests. So the lady left. A little time later, she goes next door where her uncle worked over here at the snack shack, tells him about this lady that said, yeah, there's somebody stuck in the stairwell. And he goes, that is interesting, because there is another stairwell. We sealed it off a few years ago. It went from the servants' quarters, where the laundry was, up into the second floor into a corridor. It's all sealed off. I've been inside of it. It's a little weird. Someone who used to manage this place said that their kids used to play at the bottom of those stairs before they sealed it off. And they used to see somebody looking down at them. They called their mom. When their mom came over and looked, there would be nobody there. And there was, of course, nobody else in the hotel room. The last thing I'm going to tell you about this place is there's a couple that stays here. Now, the one man, he has COPD and he has sleep apnea, so he's got a respirator machine that he has to sleep with on his face. They checked in, they got up to the room, they put the machine down, they put the mask on the counter, and they both watches on the table, and they watch as that mask just went right onto the floor. On another occasion, one fellow was taking a nap one afternoon, and they have a cat, and he swore that he thought he was at home, and then he felt his cat jump up next to him and curl up next to him, and he goes, oh, come on, Madison, you can't sleep, and he goes like this to scoop the cat up, and remembers where he is, and that there is no cat, but he looks down on his blanket, and there is a perfect impression of where a cat had just laid down. I have to take these people at their word, because it's my mom and dad, and they're not prone to lying to me.
So it's about 3:30 in the morning. I was bored. I decided to go exploring by myself and use some of the tools I brought with me. Keep in mind, there are other people in this hotel, so I had to whisper while I was walking around and talking into the microphone. The date and time code in the right-hand corner is not correct. The reason why is every time I change the battery in a damn camcorder, it reverts back to that date and time. So pay no attention to this date and time code in the corner, but check it out, it's pretty cool. So let me explain what this device does. It senses electromagnetic fields and electrical fields. The top part of the screen is the electrical field, so basically think of it as voltage. The bottom part of the screen is an electromagnetic field. Now normally you would not have an electromagnetic field without a voltage source, and that is what I am getting right now. This is a cat toy. I purchased it on Amazon because I've seen paranormal people try to use it as a tool, and I figured, well, what the heck, they're only $1. Let's see how it works. So basically, it's just a ball with a motion-sensitive LED light in the center of it. It normally does not light up unless it senses some sort of motion, or it's bumped or something like that. I have seen this thing light up on its own accord throughout the weekend at this hotel, And I tell you, it's pretty amazing. Those are the hidden steps at the Park Hotel.
Came down and had a landing into basically the ladies' room.
The stairs that are up there now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, and where they actually came down, if you come in here, they're behind that wall.
Okay, so the staircase that is up in that closet actually came down this way?
Yep.
So it started up there and then came down and it would be there?
Yep. Yeah. Come over here.
Oh, that's the bottom of the staircase.
That's the bottom of them.
Okay.
Hi. So that's the bottom of the steps there.
No kidding. What's down there? Just a cellar?
Just
or?
a cellar, yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks creepy as hell.
And it kind of is. That's where all the water is for the hook.
All you gotta do is get close to that antenna. Oh, you're here.